Is what we know right now about the second mass shooting at Fort Hood in 5 years, one of the largest Army posts in America. This time the shooter identified as an Iraqi war veteran being treated for mental illness.
His name is Army Specialist Ivan Lopez. He served 4 months in Iraq in 2011 and had been seeking treatment for post-traumatic stress. Investigators now focusing on whether an argument on the Army post triggered the shooting.
Reports in that he was wearing fatigues. In the end, he was face to face with a female police officer. She stood her ground. That's when he shot himself. Let's get right to the scene of the shooting. Alex Perez is live at Fort Hood in Texas. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, George. This shooting bringing back chilling memories for those who were here back in 2009. We are told the gunman worked as a military truck driver and that he had not yet been diagnosed with PTSD.
Seek shelter immediately.
This was the loudspeaker announcement that blared through Fort Hood late Wednesday afternoon, warning the base's residents to take shelter.
I heard gunshots. At that point, I was scared.
A soldier, now identified as Specialist Ivan Lopez, had opened fire just after 4:25 p.m., reportedly after an argument on the base.
It is believed that he walked into one of the unit buildings, opened fire, got into a vehicle, fired from a vehicle, got out of the vehicle, walked into another building, and opened fire again. Those two buildings, a medical brigade unit and the transportation battalion.
At that point, we began to witness soldiers from across the street at the transportation unit fleeing. There's a barbed wire fence about 7.5 foot high, and they were leaping over it.
Lopez, reportedly dressed in Army fatigues, uses a semi-automatic handgun to kill 3 people. 16 others are injured and rushed to area hospitals.
They've had a variety of injuries that we've been treating, ranging from gunshot wounds that involved extremities, abdomen, chest, and neck.
At 4:45 p.m., about 20 minutes after the rampage began, the ordeal comes to a violent end. Lopez taking his own life after a female police officer confronts him in a parking lot.
He was approaching her at about 20 feet. He put his hands up, then reached under his jacket, pulled out the 9mm, and she pulled out her weapon, and then she engaged. And then he put the weapon to his head, and he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. President Obama speaking to the nation as scant information trickled in.
I want to just assure all of us that we are going to get to the bottom of exactly what happened.
Finally, at 9:52 p.m., the base is given the all clear, but fear remains. Just 5 years ago, Fort Hood was the scene of the worst mass shooting on a military base in U.S. history, when Army psychiatrist Nidal Hasan killed 13 people and wounded more than 30 others. And it was also a female officer who stopped the gunman back in that shooting in 2009. We are expecting to learn more about how exactly things unfolded here during a press briefing later this afternoon.